My name is Jose Juarbe, founder and owner of Kap Rate Group Commercial, the first commercial brokerage offering established agents 100% commission for $1,000 a month. Okay, guys, let's get into our topic of the day, which is the next 24 months will decide who wins in commercial real estate. We have a massive amount of debt that's resetting. We're probably looking at about $1.6 trillion. And these distressed deals are starting to surface. They haven't peaked yet, but they're starting to surface. Owners at some point will get squeezed and they'll have to figure out how they're going to reposition themselves. And we got to look at that there's a ton of capital on the sidelines waiting to get deployed. The ones who are going to win in this situation are the ones that are liquid and ready to go. And I like to touch on, if you look at commercial, right, you have to understand that there is a great opportunity that's coming, and people, for whatever reason, don't want to see it. Okay, and what I'm saying by people, I'm talking about investors, agents. They keep trying to sell these properties today for numbers that don't make sense. And once you peel that onion and you keep talking to that agent, they will disclose to you that that's funny, that the deals that are out there are very shitty. But it takes a good 20, 25-minute conversation, and it takes you creating that relationship of trust with them where they could understand that you fully understand what's going on in the market. But if you're one of those buyers, right, that you don't understand and you're going to a realtor, he is going to sell you that property. And one of the coolest things about me personally, and I'm not a realtor anymore, but when I was a realtor in the early 2000s, I was a realtor from 2000 to 2003. I refused to put any of my clients in a deal that I couldn't get them out of. I refused to put my clients in a deal that I didn't believe in. And that's hard to believe, right? Yeah, Jose, whatever, you're saying that, but I don't believe you. And guys, it's true. I can't tell you how many clients, there were friends that I was going to make money on the commission, on the sales part. And I also owned a mortgage company at the time, and I was going to do the loan for them. And I'd tell them, no, this is not a good deal. And some of these debates would go 45 minutes to an hour, and I would always close it with, hey, I'm saying no to a $30,000 commission, and I'm saying no to probably another $20,000 that I'm going to make on the loan. Do you think that I want to say no to that type of money? But I'm saying no to it because it makes no sense. And this is where people can see that you are honest and transparent. And this is where you really build a really good relationship with friends that become clients or clients that become friends. And this is something that's lost nowadays. Most agents, commercial, residential, they don't want to be transparent. Okay, if you ask, we got the biggest, greatest wealth transfer in the world that's going to happen within the next 12 months or 36 months in commercial real estate. There's going to be a huge crash above on that level. We're talking on deals on buildings that sold for 150 mil, 180 mil that are selling for 45 mil today. Okay, we're talking, and it's happening. Those deals are happening at the moment. Okay, and if you ask a residential agent, hey, do you think that's affecting the market? No. Do you think it's affecting our community? No. And they're not. And to me, it's a joke, right? Because 2 years ago in our community, an agent would list a property and it would sell the next day. We had 3-4 offers on it, 0 contingencies, 0 appraisal fees. You couldn't even put a mortgage on there. You couldn't even put financing on there. You had to come in with cash. You had to come in over list price, okay? So I lived that, and I didn't work in that, but I lived it. I seen it in my community, okay? And I see these same agents. I talk to these same agents, and I ask them, hey, you think the market's slow? No, the market's not slow. Now, in our community, there was a time there wasn't any homes on the market active. The minute one went out, it was off the market. We got 45, 50 homes currently. I haven't checked, but I know when I'm on my bike, I see for sale signs in every community. I see 3, 4 for sale signs. And I want to say there's 12 different communities, okay, in where I live. And you see the market times are through the roof. Price drops that happen every day. Sellers offering more concessions, properties that go under contract and not appraising, okay? But yet, if you ask these realtors a simple question, do you notice a change in the market? Is it slowing down? They're dishonest and they say no. And I don't know if they're being dishonest on purpose, or I don't know if they just don't want to admit what's happening. And you could see the writing on the wall. If you've been in real estate, like I have, you can and understand real estate, because there's two things. There's being in real estate and understanding real estate, right? If you've been in it and you understand and you understand real estate, it's apparent, okay? You can't hide, okay, what's going on in the market today, in commercial and in residential, okay? So do I think that there's great deals right now in residential? Nope. Do I think that there's great deals right now in commercial? Yup. Only if you got $300-400 million, $500 million, you're in a great space if you got that kind of money, because we have these real estate investment trust REITs that are selling portfolios that had $2 billion worth of real estate, and they're selling them now for $252 million or $258 million. It's one of those two. And at those levels, those deals, not a ton are happening, but they're happening. And if you look at a lot of downtown property and high rises and multifamily high rise properties and office buildings, they're selling at huge discounts. I'm talking about huge discounts. Properties that sold for 180 million, 2018, 2019, selling today for 30 mil. And on the market forever, not selling immediately. They're on the market forever. Okay, because you have to put a plan together when you decide to take on that asset. What are you going to do with it? It's in trouble. What are you going to do with it? But I will say one thing. If you buy anything for the right price and you know how to reassess the taxes, okay, because you have to go in and do that. You have to reassess these taxes to your new purchase price, okay? You have to immediately go in there and drop thousands, maybe thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars off that tax bill, okay? And that's gonna create value for your property, okay? You have to go in and know how to stabilize these properties. And you gotta have a strategy together. Most people, they don't understand the strategy and of purchasing a property and what you're going to do with it. So I can tell you that my personal story is I've closed hundreds of deals. You can check me online. I've done over 500 doors in rehabilitation of units, okay? And I have a really nice portfolio in the city of Chicago. And one of the key things for me that I noticed in 2015 was that it was difficult for me to make money in 2015. And I know, guys, it's hard for you to believe this, but when you're in the trenches, okay, and you're seeing drywall go from $4 to $6 to $8 to $9, like that, right? And when I mean like that, it means 7 years, 8 years, right? And you're seeing your light fixtures nearly double and triple, and you're seeing your electrical boxes do the same, and you're seeing wire go through the roof, and you're watching your copper piping, and you're watching labor go through the roof, and your taxes going up and insurance going up. These are all numbers that we're constantly doing this, okay? So in 2015, I pulled out and I took a 4-year break, and I jumped back in early, I want to say late 2018, November, December 2018, early 2019. And I did a 10-unit building, rehabbed 2 single families and a 2-flat. And margins were ridiculously tight in 2019. So if I thought they were tight in 2015, they were much tighter in 2019. And I got into those projects in 2019. I was bored. I was bored, and I wanted to see what I can do. And it was difficult to jump back in. I stopped using my subcontractors for 4 years, and you kind of get rusty. Anything that you stop and you don't do, you get rusty. So when I jumped back in 2019, luckily I built really good relationships before that when I picked up my phones and made those calls, my guys showed up, and I talked to them. And throughout these projects, one of my subs told me clearly, Jose, I get up to make $300 a day. If I don't make $300 a day, I don't get up. And he was clear with me. And I told him, hey, listen, I respect your transparency, and I understand why you're charging $300 a day. because there are people, investors out there that are paying you the $300 a day. But I gotta be honest with you, kid. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm going to tell you that these numbers are not making any sense. And investors like myself are pulling out of this. And you're gonna see within the next 2 to 3 years that there are going to be a lot of experienced investors pull out of the market. And guess what? It happened. And that same, he was a framer actually, that same framer who became an investor called me, and he told me that one, he couldn't find a good deal because he became an investor, and two, that everyone that was an investor that was buying value add properties are out of the game. And the only ones that are in the game are kind of newbies that want to get their feet wet, and they're losing money. Okay? And then he went through it and gave me a couple examples of some of his investors that were newbies and how they're losing money. They paid X amount, they put this amount into it, and they sold it for this amount. They're not making any money, Jose. And that's what happened. And I want to say that the word is out there, because if you go to bars and you go anywhere, everyone's an expert, right? Oh yeah, you don't want to buy real estate right now. It's not a good market, not a good place. When you're late, when you're at a bar and you're hearing the news at the bar, right? And the news been at the bar for about 2 years now. That means that you're late. If you're wondering, how do you get a good deal when the market crashes? Who do I need to know, right? I'll tell you a couple things, okay? You just have to be familiar with LoopNet. People say property go to LoopNet to die, right? But when there's thousands of properties that are going to hit the market, guess what? They hit every platform, even the ones that they go to die. And they go on those platforms for pennies on the dollar. So you want to get familiar with LoopNet. You want to get familiar with Cretsy. You want to get familiar with Realtor.com, because although Realtor.com is for residential, they are commercial agents that post their multifamily buildings on Realtor.com. So you want to get familiar with these platforms, and you want to have a really good agent on your side, okay? You don't want the agent to do the work for you, like the searching. You want to do it, okay? You want to do the searching, okay? You got a really good agent that does the searching too. That's awesome, okay? But what you want, an agent that you can call that has a contract ready for you, okay? You want to give that agent authority to sign on your behalf so he can send out that deal for you, because when there's a deal, okay, you better believe that agent that has the listing is going to get multiple offers immediately, okay? These deals don't last a day or two. They're off the shelf within hours, okay? The beautiful part is there's going to be a ton of them, okay? And in the beginning, they're going to get sold immediately, but you're going to notice that pipeline is going to fill up, and that market time is going to start going up, and that's a great time for you, because that's where you can go ahead and take something that's priced really good and drop it even more. And that's what I like to do. And those are the times that I lived, okay? So I see those times coming, because I remember what happened in 2008, which was simple. All they did was change the lending policy. That's all they did. And guess what? They're going to do it again. If you look at Jerome Powell, they're not looking at lowering rates, okay? And I don't blame them. It makes no sense to lower rates. People are losing jobs. You're going to lower rates. You're going to raise prices on real estate. Yeah, it's great for me. My real estate goes up, but guess what? Does it really go up? Is there really a buyer behind it? Our buyers, our investors are they really going to come and pay? And you know what? I'll tell you who will do that, which is these REITs. Okay, they're idiots. Okay, I'm sorry, they're idiots. Okay, because they make money on fees. They don't make money on finding a good deal. Who wins within the next 24 months in commercial real estate? I say it's the person that has some money on the side that gets familiar with these platforms so these deals can land on their lap. Again, my name is Jose Juarbe, founder and owner of Kap Rate Group Commercial, the first commercial brokerage that's giving 100% commission to commercial agents for $1,000 a month.